What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Cam coming to you with another game analysis video. This time I'll be looking at the Celtics 129-119 overtime victory over the Washington Wizards. Celtics now have a 2-0 lead in this best-of-7 series over Washington, as the series will head to Boston, I believe Friday night. Now, in this game, kind of a tightly contested game throughout. It was a point, it was pretty even. It was 67-64 at halftime. In the third quarter, Washington actually built up a sizable lead. But then Celtics came roaring back, of course, obviously due to that man IT4. A career playoff high 53 points scored by Isaiah Thomas last night. Shot 54% from the field, only missed one free throw. Scored 29 of his 53 in the fourth quarter and overtime. I don't know what it is about this year, but Thomas has been able to turn on. He's been really good through the first three quarters of this season, but he's really been able to turn it on in the fourth quarter. I believe he led the league in fourth quarter points scored. What was in the beginning of the season was just as much in the MVP conversation as was Westbrook, Harden, Leonard, and James. He's that fifth guy. That was right up in the NBA MVP conversation the whole year, and last night he again showed why. Yeah, but as I was saying earlier, the Wizards had about, I think it was like a 14-point lead at one point in the third quarter. Then again, the Celtics came roaring back in the fourth, like I said, led by Thomas. Then it was tight going down the stretch. Both teams were hitting big shots. I'm talking about Wall and Beal for the Wizards, and then you had guys stepping up for Boston, like Terry Rozier. I think Rozier hit a couple big shots down the stretch for Boston, along with Thomas, and then Crowder and Bradley as well. It was really good going down the stretch. But then, Washington had their opportunity about 10 seconds left to go after Isaiah Thomas hit a couple free throws to tie the game at 114. John Wall had it coming down the court for the Wizards. About 5 seconds left, he made a move. Threw up a mid-range jumper. Couldn't. It was short, but short off the rim. I think Gortat tipped it, or I don't know. I think Gortat got a hand on it, tipped it out, or it fell in the hands of Beal with about a second left. He might not realize how much time he had. He kind of rushed the shot up, and it was an air ball, and that ended regulation. It went to overtime. And then in overtime, the real difference in the game of both Marcin Gortat and Marquise Morris fouled out for the Wizards. Pretty close. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes into the overtime, and then again, Gortat fouled out in about the first couple minutes. Then Morris fouled out late, but it was more the same. Isaiah Thomas, and then I remember Avery Bradley had a big steal and a slam off the fast break that put the Celtics up 3, and it looked like then that there was about a minute or so left. It looked like then that the Wizards' heart was just ripped out after that steal and dunk by Avery Bradley. I again, the Celtics are proving me wrong, man. I had Washington in 6. I mean, and unless Washington pulls what the Celtics did in the first series, which was uh, win 4 straight, and that prediction's going out the window too. I mean, Wall had a hell of a game. 40 points, 13 rebounds. Excuse me, 13 assists. I'm sorry. He was doing his thing. It was man, it was crazy. It was 6 other guys in double figures for Washington, and when you have 7 guys in double figures, you really shouldn't lose the game. I mean, again, it was just the brilliance of Isaiah Thomas, who once again, well, I'm not saying once again, who still, who's been playing this whole season, who's playing this whole postseason with a heavy heart, but yesterday was his sister's birthday. Obviously, losing his sister. Her funeral last Saturday, and then playing on her birthday yesterday on Tuesday, because I'm filming this on Wednesday. Jeez, I don't know what the heck this dude I don't know what the heck this guy is built with, but I need it. I need it. I mean, for a guy to go through all of that and still ball out of his mind. Almost every game of the playoffs. I mean, I think it was maybe one game in that Bulls series where he was kind of off and he needed help. But other than that, man, I mean, he's been the same old Isaiah Thomas, man. I mean, and again, obviously, it was his sister's birthday, so he had something bigger. He definitely had something bigger to play for, and he gave credit to her. He said it was my sister, that carried him, that carried his play last night. And again, it's going to carry him all postseason. However far that they go. I mean, but Washington's got to find an answer to stop Thomas, man. Like I said, they have 7 guys in double figures, and you still couldn't win the game. I'm just saying, Boston only had 4 guys in double figures, but again, five guys in double figures, but again, 53 points by Isaiah Thomas, that's very that's very telling. That's very telling. I mean, again, Washington's got to find a way to slow them down, and I think they will. Going into Game 3, going into their home court. I mean, at least I hope so. Scotty Brooks, he's got a tough test. He's got a tough test ahead of him, but they got to find a way to slow down Isaiah Thomas and make those other guys beat you. Man, another thing, Bill had a horrible shooting night. He had 14 points, but it was 4 of 15 shooting. But yeah, man, Game 3, Friday night. Today, Wednesday. Friday night in Washington. We'll see what happens. Washington's got to slow him down. Washington's got to get help for John Wall as well. Like I said, Bill can't have another 14 or 15 game. We'll see what happens, man. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope that you liked it. And I wish everyone that's watching this video nothing but positive vibes only. I will see you in the next video.